Hello all, very good morning. So till today we are discussing regarding the demography, and in demography we have seen all the elements, what is the scope, what is the nature of this demography, and what are all the methods of data collection that was involved in the demography. And today I would like to start one more topic in the demography. So with this we can end this chapter. So we will see what is the analysis and interpretation of the data in demography. So whatever the data you are collecting from the demography point of view, you are collecting in the census way, you are collecting in the surveys way, you are collecting in the interview method. What are all the data which you have gathered? It should be analyzed and interpreted. So if you want to do this, you need some particular method of doing it. So we are doing it in the form of tables, in the charts, in the form of diagrams, and in the form of graphs, pictures and curves, and to stress important points. So whatever the data you are collecting, it should be stressed in according to the importance of the point. So what are the things that we are using means these are the things. Tables we are using to represent the data which was collected, and the charts we are using the diagrams, we are using the graphs, we are using the pictures as well as curves, mainly to stress the important points. So the data presented should be based on the principles designed to meet the criteria. So everything you do, everything we do, it should be according to the criteria. So demography itself, the definition itself saying that it is the systematic study of population. So in a systematic study, whenever you are collecting the data, whatever the data you have collected, it should be analyzed and interpreted, and it should be represented in a systematic manner, not in the manner the way you like. So if you see the data, data representation, you should get an idea that it should be simple, it should be clear, and it should be according to the criteria. So you should follow the rules and regulations that were used in formulation of the data presentation. So first of all, if you see, as we're discussing, we'll see what is this table, what is this chart, what are these diagrams, and etc, etc. So if you see here, this is, for example, this is the table here. So here a table is consisting of rows and columns. So here we have the number of columns. So here we have to write the serial number. So in this line, we can, in this rows or columns, we can write what are all the headings. So you can categorize it according to it. So based on that, we can keep the date, we can keep the elements over here. So if you see another example, so if you see here, so here mainly we have the table name, and we are writing all the recorded elements over here. So here whatever the heading we want to keep, we can keep here. For example, you want to keep the name here, so you have kept the name here. So this was the last name, this was the first name, and what is their phone number. So this is the data. So here you want to represent your employees data on the table here. So if you want to represent your employees table on the data, first of all you should have a heading that it is the employers details. So here you have written employees phone number details, we have written that. So here we want to keep the name here. So what is the name here? So it will be considered as a heading here. So here we are writing the last name, here we are writing the first name. So in this case, here two names are there, last name and first name. So in our case, we can simply just strike out this, and we can keep here the name of the employee and what is the phone number. So here if you see the name of the employee, the data which you have collected, so beside his name you can keep his phone number, so that whenever you want to contact a person, you can directly go to this table and you can contact him. So it is one way of representing the data. So for example, if you take here for example, this is one more thing here. So here Mr. San Joseph, so he has spent for meals about from 25th and 26th August, he has spent around 37 rupees and 27 rupees here. So how many in hotel amount, and what is the transport amount? So total we can calculate and we can keep it here. So what is the subtotal and what is the last amount? So in this way you can keep the tables. I think you are understanding it. So table means nothing but it is some of systematic way of representing the data which was available with you. For example, you want to know how many number of people, just strike off this table. I want to give you just don't look at this here. Consider this is a table. So if this is a table here, so here I am writing what is the serial number. So here I am writing the name of the employee, here I am writing the salary, and here I am writing the total amount. So in this table representation form, we are writing what is the name of the person, what is the amount of salary. So whether a salary was credited to him or not, if it is not credited, we are keeping here wrong. So in such a way, here total number of employees we can write here, total amount of salary which was given to them we can write here, and what is the total amount which was credited to them. So how many members has received and how many members does not received. So everything you can write over there. So in such a way, here the table is representing you. So I'll explain you what is table here. So if you see this entire thing is considered as a table here. So if you see here, we are writing the agent code and what is the agent name and what is the working area and how much commission is getting, what is his phone number. So all these columns are having common value. So here we are seeing the code here. We are taking the name, we are taking from which area he is working, and we are taking the phone number. So here this row is representing as the record row, and if you see all these rows, these are called as field columns, and here it is the key field. Why? Because we are writing what is there over here. So simply if we are writing A007, A005, A001, A003, we don't know what is that. So we are keeping an heading for that. So here we are writing what is the agent code, and simply if you are writing names, for what purpose we are writing, we don't know. So we are keeping a heading that it was the agent name and where he is working. Simply if you write Bangalore, Brisbane, Bangalore, and London, New York, if you are writing like that, we don't know what is it. So here we are keeping the heading. So this line is considered as a key field, and these are the column names here. So in this way the table is being formed here. So I guess you are understanding. If you have any queries, you can drop them in the comment box. I will definitely help you to find out this. So coming to the characteristics of a table. So what are the characteristics of a table? Means a table has title. So as we have seen, a table is having the title and it is having the table number. It is consisting of rows, columns, and it is consisting of rows heads and column heads. So with this rows head and with this column heads, we can know what is the data which you are keeping in the rows and with the columns, and with the table number we can know how many tables were included in it, and with the title you can know what is the exact thing which we have formulated the table. And here the data presented as a discrete variables or class intervals or according to the chronological order or in an alphabetical order. So here we are arranging the table. Means if you want to arrange it ascendingly, we can arrange it ascendingly, or descendingly we can ascend it, or chronologically you can ascend, or you can get it like a B C D, means alphabetical order. So in this way we are arranging the table here. So nextly we'll see what are all the charts. So here the data which is collected, it also can be represented in the form of a chart. So here the chart contained, it is very easy to understand and it can be retained easily than the table. So sometimes there are chances that whenever you see a table we might not understand, even though it is that simple and clear, we might not understand. But whenever you are going for the charts, so it is more understood when it is compared to the table there. So we have different types of charts here. So we have bar charts. These are simple compound and histogram. Don't worry, I'll discuss it in the later slides. We have line diagrams, we have pie diagrams, we have pictogram, we have statistical map, we have statistical averages. So if you see here, this is a bar chart. So firstly I'm saying you what is a bar chart. So if you see a bar chart, so here we are having the bars. So here this red lining is indicating a daily, means means if a person is visiting you, so daily how many times he has visited you, and twice in a week how many times he had visited you, and weekly how many times he had visited you, and monthly how many times he had visited you. So this is the frequency. Daily he had visited about 20 days, for monthly he had visited about twice a week, and weekly he came about 70 times, and monthly he came about 90 to 80 times. So this is how we are keeping the frequency of a visit over here. So this is how the frequency of the visit is there. So in such a way you can represent the bar chart. So bar charts are very easy to prepare. So not only this, for just cut off this daily, weekly, everything. So you want to know how many number of age group 15 to 20 age group or person. So here it is representing the number of 50 to 20 age group persons. It is representing about 30 to 40 age group number of persons. It is representing about 50 to 20 age group number of persons, and it is representing 70 to 80 group number of persons. So how many people are suffering with diabetes mellitus? So here 70 to 80 number of people. So in 70 to 80 aged people, they are mostly suffering from diabetes. So if you see to the age group which is about 50 to 70, so they are suffering with diabetes mellitus about 60%. So here they are suffering about 80% of them are having diabetes. Here only 70% of them are having diabetes, and here only 35% of them are having diabetes. The age group which is 30 to 45, and the age group which is 15 to 30, they are only having 20% of them are suffering with diabetes. So in this way we are representing the chart here. So it is very simple and it is very clear. For example, we have taken the diabetes mellitus here. So the age group which is suffering with the diabetes mellitus is, that is 15 to 20, is about 20% of them are suffering with this diabetes mellitus. When it is coming to 30 to 45, about 35% of them are suffering with the disease. When the age group is about 50 to 70, about 70%, and the age group when it is about 70 to 80 or sometimes 90, the average number of persons suffering are like 80% of them are suffering with this diabetes mellitus. So in such a way you can represent a chart here. So I guess you understood. So bar charts, they are very easy to prepare, and they enable values to be compared at a glance. So easily you can compare. So whenever you are taking the bar chart, so you want to know what is the diabetes rate in the particular age group. So simply you can see the bar diagram and you can just say like that. And nextly, in bar charts, bar proportional to the magnitude are presented. So we have types of bar charts, as I have said. Simple bar chart we have, and we have component bar chart, and we have histogram. So firstly, if you see the simple bar chart, so how many what is the average call handling time? Here they are representing what is the average call handling time. So we can see how many number of people are having breakfast in the morning, how many people number of people are having lunch in the afternoon, how many number of people are having dinner in the evening time. So based on that we want to create a simple bar chart. So morning, about if you take the 100 people of population, about 8% of them are having the morning breakfast, and only 6% of them are having the evening afternoon lunch. And if you see in the evening, about 100% of them, means here 60% of them are having the afternoon lunch, 80% of them are having the breakfast, and afternoon only 60% of them are having the lunch. And if you see evening dinner, almost every person is attending the dinner. So in such a way you can calculate this simple bar chart. And component bar chart, so this is also one of the simplest way of expressing the details. So for example, they have taken here 2002 to 2003 to 2005 income summary. So here this dark one, it is representing as the total number of revenues, and this one is representing as the total expenses, and this is representing as the what is the profit and what is the loss. So whatever the profit or whatever the loss is there, it is representing as. So in this income summary, if you see here in 2003, in simple bar diagram, in component bar diagram, I'm saying we are seeing 3 items here. So what is the total amount of revenue, what is the total amount which is there with us, and what are the total expenses that we have spent, and what is the average profit rate or loss rate that we have encountered during the year 2003. So here also the same way you can see, here also the same way you can see. So this is a component bar chart. And if you see the histogram, so I will discuss you. So here if you see the simple bar chart, so here the simple bar chart representing the observations proportional to the magnitude. So these bars can be either vertical or horizontal. So as you have seen, so here heating, it is taking about 29%, and cooling, it is about taking about 17%, and water heating, it is taking about 14% of the electricity, and appliances, it is taking about 13%, and lighting, it is taking about 12%, other electronics 4%, and others, they are constituting about 11%. So here we are representing a data. So what is the data which was collected? So for heating, how much energy is spent, for cooling, how much energy is spent, and water heating, how much energy is spent. So we are taking all the data and we are representing it in a tabular form, so that in this all elements we can know what is the major part which is taking place here. So for heating itself, it is consuming about 29% of the total amount. So in such a way we can say the simple chart. What is the component bar chart means? Here in the component bar chart, so it is representing the many number of items here. So as we are seeing, what is the total expenditures we have, what is the total revenue we have, what is the total profit we have, and what is the losses or benefits that we had. So it can be represented in the form of or horizontal bars here. So we'll see what is this histogram. So in this histogram, so it is a pictorial diagram which is consisting series of blocks. So if the midpoint of the histogram blocks are joined, then a line with fluctuation is seen. So the frequency of the polygon is obtained by joining the midpoints of the histogram blocks. So if you see here, this is the average sales per day. So here you want to know what is the item that is highly sold here. What is the item that is highly sold here? For example, we have sold the apples, we have sold the bananas, we have sold the oranges, we have sold the grapes, and we have sold the limes. So here in this 100% here, if you take so apples are very lessly sold, so the average sales per day is about 7.5%, and bananas it is about 19.3%, and the highest is with the oranges. So here we can create a line over here. We can create a line over here when all the polygons, all of them are joined together in a table. So here we can get the line, and simply we can interpret what is the item that was sold accordingly. What is the item that was sold highly in a particular day, or whenever if it is considered to the community. So same example you can take. So for example, diabetes mellitus in age group of 15 to 20 years, 30 to 40 years, 60 to 75 years. So like that you can take the age group and you can just draw a line, imaginary line, so you can see the fluctuations where the disease rate is increasing and where the disease rate is decreasing according to the age group. So this is how an histogram is represented. And nextly we will see the line diagram. So here the line diagram, it is showing us this trend of the events that are occurring over the passage of time. So we can see, for example, if you take the AIDS, so AIDS in the past 5 years, so to what extent the number of cases are increasing, and to what extent the number of cases are getting decreased here. So for example, if you take here, so this is the age group. So what is the age group we are taking? How many? So sorry for this. I'll give you one more example. So as we are discussing here, so this is the line diagram. For example, you take the line diagram. So I am keeping the number of cases over here. So 50 cases, 60 cases, 80 cases, 90 cases, like this I am keeping, and I am keeping the age group. So if you see here, so according to the age group we are taking the lines over here. So here 2005, 2006, 2007, 2008, we are keeping here 2008. So in the year 2008 there were nearly 60 cases that were seen, and in the year again in the year 2005 we have seen 60 number of cases. So in the year 2006 we have seen the cases coming down to 50. Again in the year 2007 we have seen the cases ranging up to 80 number of cases per year, and we have seen in the 2008 year the cases are again coming down, and in the year 2000 and the cases again increased. So this is the fluctuation line you can see. So likewise the number of cases can be represented over the year for a disease. So this is the line diagram. So we have seen, so it is showing us the events that are occurring over the passage of time, so such as rise or fall of AIDS cases over a period of time that is over 5 years. So this is the line diagram. So simply you can keep it like this. So number of cases you can write over here, number of cases, and what is the year which is going 2005, 7, 8, 6, 9, like that you can see, and based on the number you can draw a line, and we can easily find out what is the frequency, what is the fluctuation rate in the disease condition. Now we'll see what is a pie chart here. So here if you see the pie chart, they are dramatically represented in the form of circles with a radius O and at the radius angle 360 degree. So they are mainly shown to us in the form of circles, and they are taking the center point, and we are I will show you in the diagram, we are mainly taking them into the halves here. So based on the percentage we are dividing the circle so that we can easily represent here. So the area of the circle in the form of segment, which is depending upon the angle here. So these segments within a circle are comparable. So the segments which we are making in a circle. So all these segments, so this is the center point here, so all these segments are comparable over here. So to find out the angle at radius 0 from the data, it can be calculated using a formula. So here how it is calculated means degree to be presented by the given percentages divided by 100 into 360. So if you are using this formula, you will get the radius over here. So for example, 75% of them are literate and 25% of them are illiterate. So here angle for the literate is like if you see the formula, degree presented is like here given percent is like 75%. So we are keeping the 75%. So we are dividing it by 100. So we are dividing it by 100 and we are multiplying it by 360. So we are getting about 270. And the angle for illiterate. So here the angle for illiterate is like so this way. So here the angle for the literate is this much. So this is the area that is represented for the angle for literate. So about 75% of them are getting literate here, means they are educated, and 25%, so angle for them is 90 degrees. So they are like 25% of them are illiterate. So the angle is 20 and here the angle is 270. So likewise, so mainly based on the radius, we are calculating the data here. So this is the representation here. So I think you understood how to calculate this. So the formula is like, for example, if the number of persons who are educated are like 75%, so here degree to be presented is like, so we are total degree is like 360. It is represented in 360. So we are taking a compass here. We are taking a compass here. So this is like 90 degrees. So in such a way, we will have the degrees angles here. So like this, we are having the angle in a compass here mainly. So how to calculate this angle means, here we are taking what is the given percentage here, 75% of them are literate. It is 75% of them are divided by 100 and they are multiplied into 360 and you will get the angle amount like 270. So we have to take the circle, round circle compass here, and you have to take on the degree of angle. So 270 degree we are taking and we are keeping the angle over there. So likewise we were keeping. So this is the representation. I guess you understood. So if you don't understand, please mention me in the comment box. I will just try to clarify your doubts there. So this is how a pie chart is represented. So this is one more example here. So likewise, so what is the percentage? Based on the percentage, the number of people are represented over here. So it is very simple. So based on the zero radius angle we are collecting, whatever the percentage we are there, the percentage is multiplied by it is divided by 100 and it is multiplied by 360. Simply you will get the angle at what angle you should keep, and simply you can give over the pie chart. So these are some of the types of pie charts here. So with this, I would like to end this session here, and I will continue the remaining topic in the next class. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you understood. If you have any queries, please drop them in the comment box. I will try to reschedule the session if you are not understanding again. Thank you. Thanks for watching.